All right, several people have asked me what I think about the recent ban on so-called zombie knives in England and Wales. I've talked about similar topics before, but there are a few things I can add here. Here's one case mentioned where a teenager stabbed another with one of those knives in London, or near London. And it says here, the Metropolitan Police issued guidance about zombie knives. There is no specific shape or style. How is that for guidance? But they are very ornate and intended to shock. Which is so vague and useless. This doesn't say anything. What is ornate? How ornate? What kind of ornament? Intended to shock. Lots of things are potentially intended to shock, but you can never say for sure unless the designer specifically says, I want this to be shocking. Otherwise, this is pure subjective opinion. This cannot be quantified in any way, shape, or form. So it's really up to individual police officers to really push their own biases and opinions. And this is not a basis for any law whatsoever. It's way too fuzzy. I mean, okay. Then it says, in varying lengths and often with a serrated edge. Often with a serrated edge. Varying lengths. Okay, so it's a thing. It can take various shapes and various lengths. It may or may not have a serrated edge. What kind of ridiculous nonsense is this? The knives carry logos or words that glamorize and promote violence. Do they want to ban all zombie movies and games too because they promote and glorify violence? Because they show people running around bashing the heads of the undead in, which just so happen to not exist. I mean, anyway. They can cause greater damage due to their size. Again, a completely pointless statement. Greater damage, greater than what? Due to their size. It just said varying lengths. Now it's due to their size. They're being sold as collector's items online and in some shops. Okay. Lots of things are. How is that descriptive in any way? This is trying to define zombie knives, and somehow a ban is justified for these. So, really, when you boil it down to what this really is about, it's correlation. That's what it is, because they found that youth gangs use these, or have used them more recently. It said here, the chief constable of the Ministry of Defense Police says that the vast majority of knife crimes involve kitchen knives. No surprise there, we already knew that. But zombie knives has suddenly become very popular as a sign of bravado in gangs. Gangs are well known for being mindful of the law and being model citizens who will stop doing something because you say it's wrong, right? Yeah, of course. They're all gonna give up those knives just because they are banned now. That's the first problem. Banning this thing is not going to stop them. They will find something else. So this is basically an attempt of legislators to play catch up with whatever trends there are right now in the gangs. And here's the problem. It slaps a band-aid on something that needs to be addressed. Oh, we have violent youth gangs. How should we deal with that? Should we figure out why there are violent youth gangs and what we can do about it, how they come to be, and all of that? Nah. Let's just... They use this thing. Oh, let's get rid of the thing. That'll teach them. I mean, you don't even have to be an expert on anything to realize that this is short-sighted and doesn't do anything. I mean, the causes of violence are are many. There's another article on The Guardian that also points this out. It says, among other things, the hyper-violent street culture is not confined to the capital and reproduces itself in poor, multiply deprived areas of our inner cities, predominantly among young men locked into a highly precarious existence. So these people have problems, economic, social, lack of education probably also plays into it, various factors that cause these teenagers to have violent tendencies in the first place. It's not confined to zombie knives. And before anybody comes up with the silly design argument, I've talked about that before, and the design argument doesn't make any sense with regards to any weapons, really, for the most part, because things have been repurposed all the time, and that it doesn't hold any water. But in this case, even more so, because what are these zombie knives designed for? Looking cool. That's all it is. Manufacturers have latched onto the zombie hype, and they're just going, oh yeah, we can make money off of this. So we're just going to produce some cheap garbage using the cheapest steel we can get, and design some really shitty knives that have really no practical use, and we're going to make them toxic green and call them zombie killer or whatever. It's ignorant and misguided. I'm sorry, that's all it is. Yes, there should be some regulation. Like, don't misconstrue this as me saying nothing should ever be banned. No. There are certain cases where I think it is reasonable. There are some reasonable compromises between the different stances you can take. But in this case, it's just, you can tell that they don't know what they're talking about. Their definitions are all over the place. There's no real justification. And yeah. So there you go. That's what I think about it before I ramble on for too long. So thanks for watching. Reproduces itself in poor why can I not? I can't do that. Multiply. What's so difficult about the word multiply? I am multiply retarded, it seems. Anyway, points this out among I'm apparently making up a new language here.